What's up, party people?
Yo.
Talking tokens on a Tuesday. Barely getting it together. Microphone wasn't working, but we're here now. Welcome. My name's Adam. Mike to the left. John at the bottom. How's everyone doing today?
Oh. Doing swell. Just watching the movement. Being patient, playing that waiting game.
Yeah, we might have
in that waiting game.
Yet another buying opportunity might be coming up for the crypto market.
You think so?
I mean, it looks like we're heading back to the Elon buy zone.
China just can't keep their shit in their pants. Those little bastards.
Seems like they're getting more serious about it, or every time they, bring it back up. Seems like the same stuff, but they're actually like starting to, crack down on people. I guess going on the exchanges and different things.
I heard they were actually like exchanges are now kicking them, know your client people off if they're from China.
Interesting.
I guess they don't want to get sued by by China or whatever.
I saw Bitmain was maybe not like producing or selling miners to people in China. So I was like,
yeah, I thought that was crazy.
Wow.
So the companies that are making ASIC miners they're in China.
They're China based, will not sell to China because they're not allowed.
Well, and I think the article said they're looking for a way to get out of China, which I guess totally makes sense as a business. So it might make it easier for everyone to get miners here eventually, because you won't have to import them anymore. But
it touches such parts of this crypto world, but in a way it's good that we're kind of breaking up with China. Not everything's based around it and the amount of people that are involved, and it can still be afloat without it.
Our last show, the Everglade stuff had happened, so we already had the fall off last week.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just like China. It seems like that there's obviously a lot of players over there that participate. So there's just so much downward seller pressure. Even though all the fundamentals and everything haven't changed, there's just so much selling pressure. Every time you make a run up, it's just some little thing. So there's a lot of people trying to probably get rid of it, dump it as fast as they can, because they don't want to get in trouble.
Right. If they can't use it currently, then what value is it to them?
So do they have like a grace period where, say, if you were someone living in China, or they give you like a grace period where you can get rid of it, or just kind of, disappear, or do they seize it?
I think they made it like so any transaction was just illegal, and I don't know if there was a grace period between like starting now and on tomorrow. Now it's even more illegal. But here I have a website here that we can look at the history. So this was Bitcoin. Could be a big buying opportunity, like we just talked about. We're might see some lower prices here on the short term, just because there's a lot of downward pressure. But here's some of the history. So December 5th, 2013, forbade financial institutions from handling Bitcoin. So they didn't want any of their banks, any of the big stuff to really allow Bitcoin to happen on their institutional side. Bitcoin fell 20% back at $889 in 2018. So first time they really made an impact, but it's been 4,600% up since that moment. So keep that in mind. March 27th, 2014, rumors began to circulate Chinese government would be penalized banks. So they started cracking down and trying to get banks to not participate in Bitcoin transactions. Price tumbled 12% to $562, and it's been up 7,000 ever since. 2017, reports emerged that there'll be tightening regulatory pressure and pushing countries' Bitcoin exchanges to full compliance. So basically, like trying to get it from underground You know, everything's got to be know your client, KYC kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Just more.
Bitcoin
information
fell
needed.
7% to 988. It's been up 4,000 ever since August 2018. Again, more pressure, more regulatory stuff. Issued warnings about illegal fundraising, and Bitcoin fell 4% to about 6,000, and it's been up 520 ever since May 2021. So this is the one that happened earlier this year. There was a pre-release of Bitcoin regulatory papers that came out and basically said like they were going to crack down on mining, and that's when all the miners kind of came offline. The pollution, you know, the economic and environmental impact, they cracked down. Bitcoin fell 8%, and so this most recent one, I think, was now they're actually continuing to crack down
as like
on
a currency, right?
Yeah, that's like now illegal to do transactions even as like a private retail person, which is like now it's
right. So
you know,
before you could
they've
just
locked
have it like in your
institutions
own
down.
wallet, and you could like buy it yourself, and like even interact with like other exchanges. But now, right, any transaction, they're just saying like no go.
Right, they're making way for their digital. What is it? The digital
Right.
yuan.
Yuan or whatever.
So that's like right. They're just setting it up that
I mean,
no other digital currency can compete. But I mean, short term, it makes a lot of selling pressure. It's more FUD. But
well, I mean,
fundamentally,
yeah,
though, nothing has changed. We were
well,
like about to blast back off, and
no, but I mean, it's just the amount of people that are engaging. So I mean, if there's like, you know, they have 1 billion people, and you know, say half the people, or no, not even half. You know, it's probably like small percentage, but that's a lot of people based upon the total number of population, and then all those people aren't even selling or holding or, yeah. But that's the pressure right there. So I guess it just cascades kind of.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how many retail investors are there in China. I would imagine all the hardcore investors that are like really into crypto are probably still going to hold on to their crypto. They'll just have to use a VPN to get past all that stuff. You know, they're just going to end up using decentralized exchanges. You know, but for the people not that savvy who might have just bought, you know, I know they don't have like I don't know if they have PayPal or what's the one that we use here, like Cash App and
Venmo, Stripe, any of the other.
Yeah. I mean, they have like different softwares there, but you know, whatever is their equivalents of like their retail version, it's like those people are probably going to cash out if they're still able to.
Right.
So there's just continuous, like they're just trying to get. There's a lot of downward pressure, and that's
well, this year it seems like it was just like the same. It kept coming up, and then pushing down, and then I mean, people the fear.
Keep your eyes on, what did we say, Mike? October 24th was the 30-day default for the Everglade company that we talked about.
Everglade,
they officially missed after our show. A couple of days later, they officially missed their first payment date.
But they have a grace day.
It was $83 million in interest. And so they had a 30-day grace period to pay it, or they default. And so like that 30-day period was October 24th. So, you know, if there for some reason they don't get it done by then, that's bad news for, I think, all the markets and everything that's going to go downstream from that, not just cryptocurrency, but so.
Well, what's this? The price for Bitcoin we're looking at was like the line was like 37.7. So do you have the chart? Can we pull that up?
Let me pull it up. So yeah, Bitcoin chart we're looking at. We were tracking a couple of things last week, and one of them was the big yellow brick road line down at the bottom there, which has been a trend line kind of from like way back in the beginning of the 2020 bull run. So I don't know why my computer's so slow right now. Oh, it's because I'm mining. Let me turn that off. Hold on.
Yeah. So as far as the was it Evergrande or Everglade?
I think
What
it's
are they called?
Evergreen.
Everglade.
Evergrande? Is it Grand? Evergrande?
I believe so. It's not Everglades.
Evergrande.
I thought it
They're
was
like mining
Evergreen.
from like the Florida like alligator swamplands.
The Everglades.
Yeah. So with the Everglades, I think from what I understand, they're probably going to be bailed out by the government. I think it's one of those things where it's
It's too
kind
big
of
to
a dog
Big
and,
to fail.
well, it's a bit of a dog and pony show, you know. It's like they already know what they're going to do,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but
but they want to put a little bit of pressure on them, you know, cause a little bit of drama because it's fun, you know.
maybe.
They're like, hey, this will crash the crypto markets. Let's just stick with it. It's like, oh, nice.
So yeah,
Well,
this is
it's like a flex on power, you know. If you can make people like worry and like freak out, like why wouldn't you?
Oh yeah,
you
they're
know?
going to run to you even more, right? So it's like the Hegelian dialect. It's like you create the solution and then you make the problem, or make the problem and then you have the solution that you want to imply.
Yeah, but I think it'll turn out okay. Like I'm pretty sure the government's just going to bail them out. It's just a bit of a dog and pony show. Like I think when it comes to every single large company in China, they have like people in the government that's like infused with them. Like you can't just like operate your own. I mean, you can have like your own small
yeah.
business.
There's
When it
like,
comes to, like a
a
big
government
business,
representative on the board, basically.
right? And that's how they got rid of what's the guy's name from Alibaba? Jack. That's how they got rid of
Jack
him.
Ma.
It's like, yeah, his company was too big. They didn't like him, so they can just like, remove him if they wanted to, you know. Because the way that
Right. If
they
you don't have this
see
like
it,
He's
CCP
gone.
like representation in your office, then they're not like legitimate, right?
yeah.
They
So
don't have like eyes, ears, and like an opinion on what you're doing.
yeah, so how they see it is every company that operates in China belongs to like the government belongs to China. Like the way they see it is the philosophy is like they're one big country and they operate as like a systematic, smooth running
Well,
system. And in order for do that,
fashion kind of
right? Yeah, I mean, there's different ways to look at it,
the
right?
state controls the production of everything.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, it's
all
all
regulated.
controlled by the government. So everything's regulated. The idea is, one company doesn't get too big and start doing international trades and somehow compromises the country somehow. Like that's, the kind of the thought process behind it. But yeah, there's pros and cons to everything, But yeah, so that's why I think like the company's not just gonna crash. Like the government's gonna save them.
Yeah, but
I can see
what
that.
does that really mean? Like they save them, but there's still money being like it's gone. Like somehow
Well, I mean, they're going to just send them a bunch of money and say, here, we'll make your payments, or we'll like, what did the government do for GM? And, when everything happened, like the bank bailouts and all
there's
cars
some,
and the car industries, and
it's like
should they just
the problem
fail?
is kicked down the road, but it's not necessarily solved. So like,
right. Well, I mean, that's what
What the U.S. did was,
companies
yeah,
maybe shouldn't still be around if they weren't good enough to survive. It's like then new other companies come along in their place, maybe. But
right. Well, in the U.S., what happened with the bank crashes, 10 years ago, it's like, well, the government bailed them out. They just gave them the money for the money they owed to, to so and so. But the thing is, the government didn't actually have the money, right? So we just kind of made money up.
Well, they just wrote
added
a
some
check,
extra
right?
zeros
They're just
behind the
like,
bank account.
oh, here's a bond, here's some money, here you go. And they're talking about making like $1 trillion coin, apparently. Just like, oh, we'll just mint $1 trillion coin and be like, here we go, we paid off with $1 trillion debt.
Yeah, yep. Just add some zeros behind the bank account, I think in the case of China, they actually do have the money. Like, you got a lot of money.
Well, it wasn't China. Remember that thing was showing that the Chinese government was like one of the #1 hodlers of like Bitcoin itself. So is that true? I mean, they kick all their people out, but they're like, well, we're gonna keep ours, so don't worry. Like Elon, he's like, it's so bad for the environment. Don't worry, we're not selling that.
Yeah, how could they know that China? I guess they maybe have somehow associated addresses with China, and that they just see the money in those. I don't know. It seems like how would you know?
I mean, you could block and explore it, and I'm sure they could tell kind of where it goes. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure what other countries have it on their bank sheet without people knowing.
I don't know, but from that picture that Crypto posted, it looks like the U.S. was on that sheet as well. I think China had like 10 times as much. I don't remember exactly, but they just had significantly more.
I believe it.
Way more.
Either by like seizure or by,
We're going to take your Bitcoins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take it from me.
Yeah. They auction a bunch off.
So yeah, anyway, the yellow brick road is what we drew last time. We drew this red one and this yellow one as like kind of do not pass lines. And right now you can see a small little symmetrical triangle that we're kind of tracking right now just to see if it stays in there. It kind of broke down and faked out right now as we were in the show here almost. Let me go to the hourly chart here. So kind of a breakdown, kind of breaking back into it, but I mean, still kind of tracking worst case for that yellow line. Man, this is like, it's really hard with this mouse, which I made this like red line here, which to me is like the no line of no return, at least for the short term in the moment. There's a lot of free air down below this. So 3,700, 3,600, or 36,000, 37,000. I honestly think it's probably going there before it goes higher. I mean, at this point, it's tested this bottom triangle here 4 times.
Right.
And with all the selling pressure, there's just a lot of reason for it to just try to get down there. And if you look at like the daily or the weekly,
did you see the 10-year bonds have been going up too? So like the dollar's strength is increased against gold and Bitcoin in the short term.
Here's the weekly EMAs, and you can see like it's converging the bottom. This like 200 week EMA here. Oh, no, this is 50. 200 is way down here. 50 is almost converging with the yellow line that we just drew if it were to just go down straight. So like the fact that it could possibly touch the bottom of the EMA ribbon and then move forward is like totally reasonable in my eyes. So this zone is like very critical. I think if it
you have a lot of things
that, then we're
to like head there.
Yeah. So keep an eye on it. I mean, it's continued to be a buying opportunity, like we said earlier, and the fundamentals of everything haven't changed. It's just every time we build a little bit up, we get our legs cut off by some dumbass news that's happening around the world. It's a global. It's affected by the global situation. So
the global market. But you just have your USDC or whatever, your stable coin ready to drop in and buy some when these dips occur.
So Mike, what you were talking about earlier, this is just the article about that. So cryptocurrency, ASIC miner, Bitmain said to halt sales. Now this is like an under the record or off the record report from individuals that supposedly know.
Right.
But for them to bounce out of China and go somewhere else is.
Well, I was just thinking L7. Oh crap! They're like, they're banning like making them now. I'm like, oh man, like is this exactly my worst case scenario? Like,
yeah, I was wondering like what would happen if they just said they couldn't. They're so close to making it, but if they shut production down,
or they just say, it's illegal, so they're making things that are making illegal things, so you're illegal too.
Well, they're not making. Right? They're not. Yeah, I don't know about that because like they're allowed to make the things. They just right now they can't like make a Bitcoin transaction. So can they get paid in USD and still make them? Like
I don't know. Is mining? You're supporting the network. Isn't that still being involved? That's like guilt by association.
But some of those machines don't support Bitcoin. So is it just it's all cryptocurrencies in general?
Well, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, all crypto. Seems like just kind of painting it with a broad, stroke brush.
Worst case, it's probably going to put it's going to make the existing miners more expensive probably because it's going to put some. It's like it's going to limit the supply of just the miners in general.
Right,
Whatever
again,
it's going to do, it's going to slow production down. You know that. So
I mean,
interesting.
it seems like they're going to like find other ways to like either sell outside of the country, produce it outside of the country. They already have they've secured like a semi-metals and chip producer, apparently like another company that they work with. So
Yep.
Just something to keep an eye on.
Did you guys see this? The Diversify paid a $23 million transaction fee on like $100,000 transaction or something like that. It was so they accidentally fat fingered a $23 million gas fee that should have cost $5. And I guess they ultimately contacted Binance to figure out whose address it was and somehow got in contact with the person because Binance gave them the information. And not that they had any legal right to like get it back. Like they offered it and the guy mined it and got $23.7 million. He ended up giving it back or most of it back. I think it didn't say exactly how. I guess they said this 7,626 ETH, which is what at current prices.
Wow. 7 times 3 almost. So
7,626 times 3,000, which is
21.
Yeah, 20. So 22,875,000. So I think he ended up keeping like 100. They offered 140,000 just to keep. They're like, just keep it. And I think he ultimately just made a good Samaritan kind of move and gave a significant portion of it back. But wow.
Right. Hey, I mean, if they were like, look, you can keep 150 grand, give me back the 20 mil. I'm like, all right.
I mean, yeah, you'd probably be like, all right, that's a pretty good win-win.
But maybe like there would be no other course of action for, it's like you sent me it.
I think that legally they probably,
Right. It's kind of the BlockFi thing, right? It's like you sent it.
Well, I mean, he's just a minor on, like, he had no agreement with him. Like, he's just a minor.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's even worse.
There's no legal ramifications,
yeah,
but I think they probably could have been like, we're going to do everything we can to try to get this back. So he's probably
it's like a tip. Someone gave a tip, and they meant to tip $23, and they tipped $23 million. And they actually had that much money to, like, pay.
And they said it wasn't anything. I don't know, Diversify, but they said it wasn't anybody's funds. It was their own money. So like, just craziness. But anyway, the guy made out with 150,000. Like, so pretty good day for that miner.
Yep.
Just wow.
And speaking of Ethereum mining, they're like closing down the second largest Ethereum pool on the 30th, apparently.
In China, yeah, because of the mining lockdown.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yep, that's another one of those things. So I don't know. This just the closing thought on this is like, how could you make that big of a mistake, and how whatever program you're like using for the transaction,
right? Why wouldn't it be like?
There's got to be some safeties in there. Like, are you sure you want to spend $20 million? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
There's got to be something in place to like not allow
like
that.
The gas fee you were trying to pay right now is an exorbitant amount.
It's $23 million times your value.
Right. It's like, to get this process, all you needed was $5.
Yeah.
You've overpaid by 30,000%.
$30 million. I thought this was cool. Coinbase is going to let you direct deposit from your paychecks if you want to do that. A portion of your, whatever your salary coming from your corporate account.
That's cool. I mean, you can get rid of banks like overall if you want, altogether if you want.
Right. So it was like, it's talking about like some, high risk people or, more progressive people are going to have their whole account just dumped into Coinbase. You use your Coinbase card, you're using USDC.
Right.
You're making normal transactions with your Right. So then, or you can have it convert directly or automatically or whatever you want to do, but they're opening it up. So I'm like, heck yeah, I'm probably going to have like, a small portion of my paycheck just go directed, and you have one less transaction fee to worry about.
Well, they don't usually do transaction fees on USDC anyway. But
From your bank account, like if you deposit.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
have up
guess
to $35,000 a day for free that you can move over.
Yeah, but I mean, just cool that they're even letting you can set that up. So now you can set it up
that's just
directly
one
and
less
just
thing that you have to think about of initiating a transfer, making like a weekly buy. You just, if you're all in on Coinbase and you have the debit card and you're getting your 1% back, and you want to buy and invest in these cryptos, then why not direct deposit right in? It's pretty cool.
That was cool. Yeah, this was Mark Cuban's investing in a new NFT marketplace called Eternal, which I thought was pretty cool. This is the website. It's basically making NFTs on gamer streams, like clips. Like if you got a headshot, like a massive Counter-Strike headshot, and you're like, it's like epic headshot, you can NFT it and like basically immortalize that moment in history as an NFT for like gaming. I think it's any internet video basically at that point, but I think it's geared towards like the gamer setup.
I mean, there's just so many like different things that could be the actual NFT, because anything can be an NFT.
Right. So I guess they have
like
people
shot
here
in the
like
head this way. You did this. You like, did a cool jump. You made like a, cool touchdown or something. Yeah. Right.
Right. Some crazy Madden play. You could be like, just something that's legendary, and you end up being the one that forever gets, appreciated by the gamer community. They're going to want to buy that, and then you're going to end up making money. So pretty cool. Something called Eternal streamer clips.
Apparently, did you see the one thing about like Snoop Dogg and how he was like this NFT crypto guy behind the scenes, and like no one knew about it or something? Like he ended up buying like certain crypto punks, and he was like this collector on Twitter, and people didn't know who he was. And then he like gave up his identity, and I guess it was Snoop Dogg. And he owns like tons of.
So he's got a whole bunch of them, and he was kind of like an OG on
He bought like some of the original crypto punks, and like when they started like doubling, tripling, and like prices and stuff. So I was listening to the podcast on just like how he was this guy that everybody on Twitter was talking about, and he's like, just came out as that. And then they were talking about other people, how just these NFTs have blown up, and how CryptoPunks is like the guy went from normal Joe Schmo to multimillionaire in a month buying CryptoPunks. So just like, wow.
The guy who made them, or the guy who bought them? Just the guy who bought them.
Yeah, like he originally bought it for 800 ETH, and then someone sold it for 1,000 ETH, and someone sold it for 5,000 ETH, and then it's just like in the art world where no one wants to sell it for less than the last known sold one, and for somehow it's either he just owns, his wallet owns $1 million worth of these crypto punks, which is crazy because it's literally just JPEG art, and if you just happen to have it, and you had a couple of them, like, I'll trade you a little NFT for a Bugatti. Sure. Here you go.
I wrote an article yesterday. I read an article yesterday that the Axie Infinity, you can make up to like $500 to $600 a month just playing Axie Infinity. I'm like, damn, I just need to go get one. Yeah. And
that's the guy that I bought the miners from and stuff. And then he had me on his Axie team, but I don't have time just to sit around and play a little video game.
Apparently it costs $1,500 to like get in. It costs that much to just buy your first like.
Well, each of the creatures are NFTs themselves, and they start out as like a couple like $50 or like $100, and
I think I read it. What I read yesterday was like it costs $1,500.
Somewhere between $300 and like $3,000 each.
What kind of game is it?
So then, It's called Axie Infinity. It's almost like a little
I guess
Pokemon.
yeah, it's like a little Pokemon. That's how I would describe it. Is like little character that you build up.
It's
And
3-on-3. It's like 3 little Pokemon and 3 Pokemon, and you have a team, and he has a team, and you're the leader, and then you just like, it's like an attack back and forth game. Like you do this, and then they do this, and then do this, and then you just win money, and then these people in other countries are actually making this their job, and then people that are in the U.S., like this guy that I met, he has over 90 different NFTs, and he has all the people on his team, and then they're milling playing the game, and he's making money off them, and he owns the NFTs and just gives them out to them to play for him, and he gets like 15 or 20% of everything that they do. But one of his guys down in like the Philippines actually like bought his own house, changed his whole life by just playing these games. So,
turn into a business, a money-making machine.
you can like apply for a scholarship if you can't pay for the $1,500 to start. You can apply for a scholarship on their blog, and I guess if they think, I don't know how they select scholarships, but they can like donate an NFT guide just so you can get going,
right,
to play, and then eventually maybe you pay it off, or I don't know how it works, but
yeah.
They opened it up for like, people that can't afford it. So anyway, I was like, maybe I'll try that one day.
Go apply.
I mean, you can just give your kids 3 like little phones, and they'll just be playing all day, and then just like, it's like
$500, $500 a week. Get it
right. But the SLP, you make his like drop significantly. If you take a look at that, I mean, it's just like
It's called like Sonic Love Potion or something.
SLP, Simple Love Potion or something.
Smooth Love Potion. I mean, I'm sure it's
like
following the same shit everyone else is. Yep.
I mean, it's like on a super decline.
Oh yeah, wow.
Just like keeps going. Keeps going.
Damn.
What chart is this?
This is that Axie Infinity. Like this is like the coin that
this
you
is
get.
What you win when you play the game.
Yeah. So not
apparently with the NFTs, like you could take them and you could breed them. So then you could take like 2 rare ones and make like an even rare one. They have different like attributes and stuff. So people could just like buy the NFTs just to like mate them, and then you could like sell them or like reproduce them or something. It's like
so Mike, I saw this Bitcoin shoe, baby.
Damn.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, look at that thing.
Who actually makes it?
I guess Adams. I've never heard of the Adams shoe, but it's a model 00 Bitcoin limited release. And then I like how what it says on the bottom. It says, "We are all Satoshi," and the inside says 21 million. So I was like, "Damn, it's like a nice little collective."
They look pretty legit. What do they have? Like little like ghost tiger stripes?
No, it's just like little. It's like a mesh.
Oh, it's almost like a it looks like the outside of a Google like phone case.
Yeah, it's just like mesh, and then it has like we are all Satoshi on the bottom of the sole. But I mean,
how much are we talking?
It said $120, I think.
No, I'm talking Satoshis. Come on now, 125,000 Satoshis. No, 220.
Yeah, that would be like 300,000 Satoshis right now.
Yeah, 300,000 Satoshis. Okay.
Are these for a pre-order, or are they available already?
It says pre-order September 29th, so tomorrow.
So they'll be available tomorrow?
Yeah, shipping November 14th.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Pretty cool.
There we go.
Sweet.
Something to look at if you want to get into the Bitcoin paraphernalia.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Pretty cool if it had like a little jump drive on it. You could like keep that's like a cold storage.
Oh yeah, that'll be awesome.
Keep them on your shoe. Keep your C word.
What
in
if
your
you
shoe or something.
stepped in like a puddle and it like ruined your fucking your hardware wallet? Like, damn it!
Make it
Oh,
waterproof.
you guys gotta
Or
think
you could
about
have
it if you're putting
you
it in
could
a
have
damn shoe.
you could have an address with a your
Right,
QR
yeah,
code
like
on
someone
it.
could just like scan it. Like yeah, like you could just have like a QRL with your address on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Dude, man, don't get robbed, man. They're gonna take your shoe.
I know they'd be like, look, that guy rich, he got Bitcoin shoes.
Yeah,
Take that
Bitcoin
stuff.
shoe.
Nah.
Yeah, Bitcoin shoe. Yeah.
They like play the Soldier Boy like song when they come out, the Bitcoin song.
And then there was I got a notice today that Freedom Fi. Mike, do you remember that Freedom Fi? It was like
What is that?
it's a gateway. Let me show you. So Freedom Fi was 5G for everyone. So they have their own technology where you can put your own 5G server like in your house. But then they're also integrating the 5G into the Helium network. So it's 5G mobile network using the Helium as a router. So it's like across the Helium side. So it's integrated actual 5G for your phones, but on the Helium network. And this is the gateway that they're coming out with. So it's a Helium miner / 5G integration broadband device.
That's kind of cool. I mean, so I guess there's gonna be a lot of demand.
It's going to make the Helium network. Right now, there's not a lot of things that actually work on the Helium side, in my opinion.
Well, I know they
This
were
would
coming out
actually
with
allow
like
your
5G
phone.
stuff down the line. It was like a ton of money. It was like
I think this
$2,000.
brings like the integration of mobile internet into the Helium network. I think that's like the whole point. So radio agnostic network integrates with 5G network. So it said,
does it show how
I
much
signed
the
up for
money
like
is?
I signed up for like a wait list like a couple months ago, and I'm like number 8,000, and they're getting ready to ship like number 500 or something right now. But you have to like buy it, and there's a lot of money associated with it. But
yeah,
anyway,
it's definitely cool. More things are integrating with the blockchain, like we said before. It's like you won't know you're interacting with it, but you will be.
yeah, I mean, how do you get the Helium network to actually do something? I guess that's where my head's at.
Right, or yeah, Internet of Things. As all these different things come out, tiles and Apple locators and dog collars and all these trackers and golf things and everything needs connectivity. So whether it be Wi-Fi, LAN, or whatever, low range, wide area.
John, you making any specific trades or moves or do anything lately?
I mean, there's a couple coins I'm looking at. They're all kind of smaller caps. The biggest issue is I'm just kind of debating whether I should like use money to buy them or just kind of trade for them using, like say Bitcoin I already have or Ethereum I already have, But yeah, I've got a laundry list of coins I want to get actually. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll just kind of wait it out and wait for the next bull to kind of come and go.
John, did you end up actually doing that self-directed IRA through Gemini or whatever?
Yeah. So I go through this company called IRA Financial Trust, and they give you like a nannied version of Gemini essentially. So you can buy whatever is on Gemini, but you don't have the staking features or like the transferring features or any interest capabilities or any of that stuff. That's the only issue.
And what are your fees like?
The fees, there are fees. I just don't remember exactly how much.
Like,
I think
is it
they're
like
okay.
is it 10% of the transaction fee to
Oh,
trade? Or
no,
is it like it's like 1% or 0.25 or something small?
No, I think it's like 1 or 2%.
Okay.
It's definitely not 10%.
Because I'm looking at trying to do that. I'm not happy with the Bitcoin IRA that I have.
Oh,
Their transaction fees are literally like 10%. It's crazy.
oh, what?
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
So you can't really make moves.
Robbery.
Yeah, it's like you can't really make moves unless like it's extremely long term, kind of decision.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid. Yeah, so the company I'm using is called IRA Financial Trust. They're located in South Dakota, like Sixta Falls, or I don't know how to pronounce it. Something Falls, South Dakota.
And do you have your private keys? It's custodial, right? They hold it.
There's no keys. It's on the exchange. Like there's no wallet.
Right. So like based on what I read on this place called directedida.com or something.org, you can set up an IRA with an LLC and actually hold your private keys while it's on Gemini, or like however they do it. Like you actually you can have access to the crypto, like if you really like, you actually formally manage it somehow, but it's through an LLC, but it's also self-directed. And
Are you allowed to move it to a wallet?
I think you technically could, like in that sense, like you can do whatever you want with it because you actually are the holder of the keeper of the thing. It's not custodial at all, but it somehow falls into the IRA like category.
Well, spectrum.
So I'm doing a little bit of research to see how I can do that because I want to take another portion of what I have in my like historical Roth that I moved from my company 401k when we got acquired, and probably do another batch or even pull my Bitcoin IRA out and move those funds into that because I hate how I can't even touch this stuff without losing. Like I wanted to convert some ETH that I had profit on they just put Cardano onto the Bitcoin IRA. So I was like, oh shit, Cardano's here now. I'm going to exchange some over, take some profit. And it was like going to be a 300-hour transaction fee. I was like, what? For like,
negates
for
all
like
your profit.
$4,000. I was like, that's going to take me, 3 months to even make back, even if it was dumb.
Yeah. If they allow you to use a wallet, that would be awesome. I probably would switch to that as well.
Because then you could put it in your own little
right. You can just do anything.
An account.
Yeah. Just don't lose it. Like don't get it mixed up with like the rest of your stuff because then you're kind of
right.
screwed.
Yeah. It's going to be on you to like probably do a lot more paperwork and like understand the impact of it. But anyway, this company called Directed IRA. Let me see if I can pull it up. They have a whole bunch of videos and like I think that's their whole thing.
I might want to do that because I mean, there's a lot of stuff I'd like to be able to do, and the nannied version of Gemini that this company uses is just really limited, and it's kind of limited on the coins. I mean, Gemini is okay; it's got a good selection, but it'd be nice if I can just buy whatever coins I wanted to, and you can't do staking or any of that stuff, So.
So these guys have like a more traditional version of a self-directed IRA, kind of like what you have. It's like a nannied Gemini account with low fees. You have access to everything Gemini has except for interest and like, the other things inside of it. But they have ones called, this like, I think it's this one, this checkbook IRA LLC thing, where you set up the LLC, but then you basically manage your private keys. And so I'm still trying to figure it out and learn more about it, but they give you
I think mine is a checkbook. I think mine's a checkbook IRA also.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, technically I have my own version of Gemini. Like I have a login to it, but it's just a nannied version of it. Yeah,
I'll have to figure out more about how it actually works, but there was a link when I was looking into it. There was a link about Yeah, it was like down here. Yeah. Do I have access to my private keys? No. At this time, you cannot access your own private keys. If that's
No.
something you'll be interested in, use an IRA LLC structure instead. You can learn more about this process, and they have a video about it on this side. So I think if you call these guys and like talk to them,
So they'll manage the LLC, but as far as everything else, it's all on you to not fuck it up.
yeah, I don't know how that all works, but something I'm definitely
Probably good
looking
to
into
understand
because
it
like
before you move all your money there.
because I don't need to pay an exorbitant amount of fees for someone to like be custodial with it if I'm confident in my own like crypto management. Like a lot of people are probably I don't want to deal with it. I just want to like keep someone hold my shit, have an insurance policy.
It's just like other 401ks. You just leave it in there and let them automatically manage it, or do you go make decisions yourself, or you just set like a risk level? I mean, yeah, the other place I was looking at was called I Trust Capital IRA,
Yeah,
which
I've seen that one too. It's kind of very
that
similar
was
to this
really good,
one.
and that's what the altcoin daily guy, Aaron and whatever the other guy's name is, they recommended that one. So
Yeah, I think that was
thinking
very
about-
similar to like one of these, or kind of the competitor to Bitcoin. It's got the good thing about those sites is they have like these big insurance policies. So like if something were to go wacky or sideways,
Yeah,
but
this is a world's leading institutional cold storage provider. They use Coinbase custody, $320 million insurance policy.
But Mike, that site had like it was like $29 a month in a fee. I mean, it's like it ends up being like three. They're all about like a couple $100 a year in annual fees, and then they have like 1% or relatively low
Like
transaction
custodial fee or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, crypto 1% trade fee, 50% over spot. Trades are tax-free in IRA, 24-hour day liquidity.
Right. So those sites compared to the one I have are like you actually have access to a more traditional, exchange approach with your coins, and you can almost day trade on it if you wanted it to.
Right. That'll be the smart thing, day trading on that.
Well,
And
yeah,
then-
I mean, that's with my 401k on Schwab. Yeah, I mean, I picked up like, a bunch of AMC, and all
Nice.
MicroStrategies and all these other
Yeah.
things. So similar, yeah. I mean, it's just like, yeah, it's like money that you can't access, and you can play around with it. And you don't have to pay taxes on the gains. So it's like almost like a sandbox where, I mean, it's like you could make mistakes and you can gain it back, but until you're ready to retire, then you're really probably not touching it.
But here's the thing though, like if you think about how much it's going to grow, do you actually ever need to cash out of it? You could always take a loan on it, and it would always make sense just because the value is just going up,
Yeah, you live off the return. You live off the return, never like the actual value. If you're making 10%,
maybe that would
live
work
off
with,
the 10%.
the
If it's
crypto.
10% of a million, you got $100,000 a year to live off of.
Right.
Or
Or
something
if you
like
just need
that.
the money for that time and then you take out like a $50,000 loan, it's like, oh, well, I'm good for, X amount of months or weeks or whatever. It's like, and then if you don't spend it, then you just pay back the loan with the money you took out. And if you
So-
need more money, then you just take another loan to pay back the loan that you already took out. And then you just keep borrowing until you die.
That's what some people do. That's what a lot of rich people do. They
That's
just lend on their own asset.
There was some sort of like TikTok thing Adam showed me. It was like something, borrow, die. And it was just like, you're just going to continue to hodl, borrow on that. And you pay back the debt with the next loan. And then you just keep doing that. And then you'll just set up your generational wealth and it just gets passed along. And
Right.
there's nothing that they can
down
really
the
do to tax you or.
Yeah. And if you think about it, most things that I'd say rich people are buying are probably, they're probably pretty price conscious too. Like they go buy a supercar. Like I know there's some people that go out and just buy whatever supercar they want, but I would say most people are probably conscious of like its value, right? They're picking out which one. Is it the Huracan, the base model, or the Huracan Evo that's always going to hold the value, right? So they're going to pick the one that's always going to hold the value. Therefore, if they take a loan on their IRA, like the value is just going to go up. It's like they made money on it. Same with like the watch or whatever boat they're buying.
Right. What if you took your whole 401k and just bought a bunch of crypto punks? I mean, you would just be running the world. You're just like, yeah, I got 7, 8, 9, 10 of these guys. Like,
Well,
gotta
I'll
have the
keep you
foresight.
guys updated as I learn more about this, and I do plan on probably opening up a different one or converting, pulling that money from that one. Although I spent, now that I think about all the
Managing
fees I
assets.
already spent on that, it's like, God damn, but whatever.
Maybe wait
But,
for another rally first. Wait for a rally first, and then pull out
I
some
mean,
extra value out of it.
if it's just moving from one place to another, it's not. If I didn't sell it, I don't think there's like. There might be some transactional fee to like move it once, but I could either leave the Bitcoin stuff there and just start another one, and then I'm pulling money from fiat 401 or fiat Roth to crypto Roth.
Well, I think there's
no
a
fees
period.
moving it, then probably move some of it. But if not, then
The way this read was like if you move it from like for like, there's barely like they're giving a promotion, like there is no fee. Like if you take it from a crypto IRA and move it to a crypto IRA, then they won't fee you.
Okay.
It's like they're trying to get people, to convert or move.
So they're actually sending the real crypto. It's not they got to cash it out, send you.
Well, see, that's what I don't
money.
know. That's what I think. The Bitcoin IRA that I have will not release the crypto like for like if you were to close it. So I don't know if that's that fact. But the website makes it seem like they show like I Trust Capital. That was the one I read this where it's like if you do like for like from Bitcoin IRA. So maybe they have a deal because they're moving it from their trust custodial clients. They can do that. Like you can move it from custodial to custodial because they both have insurance policies, but
right.
They won't move it from custodial to retail because that's
just non because they'll be like, oh yeah, here's all your stuff, and then send it to the wrong address.
Right, and then that's millions of dollars gone. So I think maybe they'll do it from custodial to custodial in that sense because they meet the the criteria to move it.
There's certain regulations or
Yeah, I mean, if your current company has to like cash it out and send you like money, there's gonna be like a period for that entire process to happen. It's probably gonna be like a probably 2 to 3 week time frame while it's just normal cash, and the value could go up by then. And then you're just
right, and do you reinvest it or how does that affect cashing out? Getting the money, turning it.
That would suck. You're like, all right, I'm gonna let it move now, and then it moves up like 30,000
or something, right?
Have a bull run.
Is that creating more selling pressure because they technically have to sell the asset to then realize the fiat to give it to you? So then you're selling crypto, and all these people are wanting to move or something, but then I guess it's not significant enough to do it.
And your part of it's not going to move the needle, but you would miss out on a run. That would kind of suck. So
it could be a run any week. Any week it could be a run.
I mean, it ran to 64, it ran to 55, and then it's like if you had the balls to pull the trigger and get rid of the stuff and then rebuy back down in the Elon buy zone.
I did see one more thing, Mike. Did you get the BlockFi email that they're upping their rates on USDC?
Stable coins, I think it went up like 0.5, like 8.5% on stable coins on BlockFi. So if you got extra cash, go make 8%.
Yeah, it seems like
it was up to $40,000, I think.
Up to $40,000, 8.25% on USDC. That's awesome.
And that's like 7% over 40. I thought.
Interesting. See, that's why companies like Celsius is like being attacked by whatever state that was.
Yeah, it's like Kentucky. I think they got notice. They're on notice from Kentucky for their product.
But, I mean that's a threat to the banks.
It's the same thing that New Jersey did to BlockFi. They just keep kicking it down the road. They're going to do it. They were going to do like the hearing, and it's been delayed like months after months after months. And then I don't think they're letting new people sign up from New Jersey, but you'd still have your own account. And I saw people talking about it on Facebook, on our Simple Crypto about
I think Ali maybe asked, like, hey, do you think there's going to be shut down? And so there is hesitancy from people that want to maybe make interest and that are not willing to put all their stuff in, or any at all. I mean, yeah, I'm not willing to put all my crypto in, one basket. Just on the off chance that they're like, oh yeah, the CEO just took everybody's stuff and ran off. I mean, I guess I don't think that would happen, but you never know. I'm not trying to start over from zero again.
Well, like John said a moment ago, it's like, yeah, the bankers are, the people, the old money.
Yeah.
They're fighting it.
Yep.
8.25%. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Why not?
I mean, right. What do you get in your freaking bank? 0.01, 0.02.
Now, BlockFi is less accessible than Coinbase as far as like if you wanted to use it as an actual transactional place. But if you have a savings account that's just sitting there, you might as well.
Right. If you have a chunk of money, you got 10 grand, you got 15 grand, whatever,
life inheritance or something crazy comes your way. Just
I mean,
8.5.
What sounds better, 0.01 or 8 when you're just letting it sit there?
No brainer.
8% gains in this climate right now is like,
pretty good
for the whole year.
Yeah, why don't you update on your what's that one app that you've been doing? Acorn or
Amber?
Amber, there you go. And it was A something.
Yeah, so I started doing an interest. It's fixed rate term plans, basically, where you deposit your cryptocurrency of choice. They give you attractive earn fixed rate things, like you guys can see here. There's no website for this, but so it's like you can do for 5 days, you can do for 120 days, 90 days, and then it gives you competitive like interest amounts. So 6% for 90 days. So you just deposit the amount of Bitcoin you want, you hit earn, it locks it in for 90 days, you get 6%. It's like a done deal, and then 90 days later, it gives it back to you. So I'm locked in. I did like a promotional one where you sign in and you get 16% interest for your first one, but it was only for like 10 days. So basically, if you had a shit ton of money, I guess it would make like pretty good return. It made me like $10 on like $2,000 in Bitcoin. And then, so right now I'm in a 120 day earn plan. And I'm making basically like 30 cents a day. So it's not like a huge amount of money that I'm in there, but it's like these nights. It's just another
more
it's
passive,
sitting in
right?
my Trezor doing nothing. Now it's like sitting in this thing making like fixed rate interest.
Making your money, you have your Coinbase making your money, you have your BlockFi making your money, you have your rewards making your so there's just all these little miners making your money. Yeah. It all adds up. So just have all these little avenues to collect.
Right, I was telling Mike, I had texted you that the other day. I was like, all my little things for the month of September were. Let me see if I can find that little text.
Right. What was the full interest amount?
Yeah, I made $30 in Bitcoin through my IRA because I do have interest on the Bitcoin IRA. At least I have that. I have interest. It's low, but I do have interest. So I made $30 in Bitcoin on my IRA, $23 in Ethereum in my IRA, $30 in BlockFi interest, $3 from Amber in Bitcoin, and $121 in BlockFi Bitcoin for the credit card rewards, all in the month of September. So that was like $230 or something like that. Just like money coming in from money that I already have, just making more money.
Sweet.
And that's just going to compound month after month after month. If I'm not selling it, I'm going to make more of that. And so at some point I'm going to be making like $600 in interest a month on, whatever in my account.
Right. I mean, the interest itself is like a little miner. So it's like just money is mining for you by just having it.
I've taken any transaction I can with a credit card that I have for like monthly bills, like Amazon Prime or AT&T. Right. Anything is going through my BlockFi card right now.
Yeah, same here.
And I just paid off as soon as it hits. Send money over, whoop, paid off. So like no statement, no interest. It's just money I'm already spending.
Right.
and I'm buying gas with it. I mean, there's some stuff that like my wife doesn't have a card. I need to get her a card so she spends it. But
Right. Did
I'm
you
trying to
see
put
where
as
you can
much as I
sign up?
possibly can through it.
Did you see where you could sign up for a second card or something on your account?
I'm sure there's got to be a way to like authorize user or something so that she can have one. But once you get the whole, if you spend $50,000 annually, then you bump up to the 2.5% or 2%, and now you're making even more. And so I tried to do in like my mortgage, but you can't pay your mortgage with a credit card.
Oh man, nah.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to do like like car payments, like those kind of things are hard because that would easily get me above 50,000 if you could just pay those things.
Right.
I found this website where you can pay those things with a credit card through them, but they charge a fee. So it's like at that point you're paying a fee. You're getting
Might
money.
not be worth it.
Yeah, it's not.
Right.
It's not.
I guess
It
as
wasn't,
long as the fee's less than what you're.
it wasn't. It was like 2 or 3%. So it's like
Right.
that's
So
like
then it's like right.
dire need if you had some crazy reward system set up, but it wasn't worth it. So that was a little disappointing to not have to be able to do that because I was thinking like, oh yeah, I could do my mortgage, I could do this, I could do this, and like they won't let you do that. So
Damn.
Well, good thing in life, other things pop up. You know, you're like, oh, I need a new toilet. Oh, I need a new roof. Oh, I need new siding. You know, it's like
Do
So, I mean-
do a real estate deal and put all the construction materials on the card.
there you go.
yeah, or if
Sounds like you,
if
John.
yeah, I mean you could.
I used to do that. I've just got a general contractor that just handles all that now. I don't care the points. It's just easier
Yeah. Well,
having to track material.
yeah.
it is.
Time's important.
Yeah.
And more
I mean,
valuable.
you have to obviously manage it. Like if you do have interest on this card, it's like a high interest rate.
20%.
It's not great, yeah. But they know. I think they know
better
that
not have a
people-
statement balance.
right, or your rewards are useless.
Just gonna be ate away, right?
How much are the rewards again? Is it 2%?
It's 1% or like 1.5
It's
or
3% for the first
Okay.
3 months, up to $100 in Bitcoin. After
Okay.
that, it's subsequent 1.5. And
It's
then
not bad.
after you go over 50 for the year, then it's like 2.5.
and there's no annual fee, so there's no fees structured to it at all. So it's
All right,
just
all right.
you're just
And
making
then-
it.
And then if you use the Coinbase card, you're just buying USDC, and you can spend that on the card, and you get 1% back. So that's where if you want to like to do a weekly buy of $50 a week, or you just deposit your check, your card or your weekly check in there, and then you just use the card. So
Gotcha. Yeah, it's cool. We're having all these retail options out now. I mean, that's pretty sweet. I think the BlockFi is pretty nice.
The BlockFi has been.
it's been legit
I think,
for me.
I think it's been
haven't
like
had many
one of the
issues.
best services I've seen so far. That's just like easy. It works. It's like I feel
clean.
confident in them. Maybe I'm too confident in them, but I do feel like
Every
safe.
couple months they send you 5 Bitcoin. You know,
yeah, Mike spent a quarter
Gave
million.
me a
there.
$250,000 bonus.
Someone fat fingered that one.
Don't remind me.
Yeah.
looks like we're coming up here on the.
Yeah.
60+ minute mark.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Right.
curtain shake. Thanks for watching. Hit the like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the other side.
Here comes the money.
Yep. Go on the road to
Till next time. Adios.